Paris, the City of Lights. A typical city in many respects, the streets are packed with busy residents and tourists who all have places to go and landmarks to see. But visitors might not realise when they're pounding the pavements they're actually walking on the graves of 6 million Parisians whose skeletal remains line the maze of underground tunnels that make up the Paris Catacombs. The bones were transported to the tunnels towards the end of the 18th century after the city cemeteries became so overpopulated bodies were literally erupting from the earth. But the tunnels themselves have existed since Roman times. The network of burial chambers stretches more than 150 miles beneath the French capital, but only a small section of it is open to the public. Needless to say, it would be extremely dangerous and pretty terrifying to explore the tunnels by yourself. So I can only imagine the horror two Parisian teens felt when they slipped into the catacombs one Saturday night in 2017 and quickly lost their way. After 3 days stumbling around in the dark with no food and no water, the two teens were eventually found suffering with hypothermia. The Paris Fire Service said it was thanks to the dogs that they were found, but could something else have been watching out for the young explorers? In 1793, Philibert Aspère was working as a doorkeeper at the Val-de-Grâce military hospital when he vanished. The mystery of his disappearance went unsolved until his body was found in the catacombs 11 years later. It's thought that Aspère went into the catacombs to access the basement of a nearby brewery and soon lost his way along with his light. He died slowly and alone in complete darkness, and worse still, when his body was eventually found, it was only a few feet away from an exit. Apparently his ghost can still be seen wandering the tunnels. Another creepy catacombs legend comes with a warning. If you're brave or foolish enough to be wandering the catacombs on your own, don't get caught down there after midnight, because that's when the walls start to speak. And the disembodied voices will try to persuade you to go even deeper into the tunnels until you can't find your way out again. These stories haven't stopped people venturing into the restricted areas of the tunnels, though. These explorers, known as cataphiles, host raves, parties, and even art installations in the tunnels. It really kicked off in 1981 when 6 teenagers used the tunnels to mine their way into the Department of Telecommunications in Paris and stole the complete map of the catacombs. The group became known as the Urban Experiment, an established group that is still active today. In 2004, police were conducting a routine training exercise in the catacombs when they came across a sign that read "Building sign, no access," and as they headed further in, a recording of dogs barking was triggered. The officers descended deeper into the tunnels and discovered a cavern with a fully equipped cinema, and in the next room, police found a fully stocked bar and restaurant complete with tables and chairs. The discovery left police confused, especially when they discovered the installation of electricity and phone lines. 3 days later, when police returned with experts from the French Board of Electricity to try and figure out where the power was coming from, they found the cables had been cut and a note lying on the floor that read, "Do not try and find us." So whether you're an aspiring cataphile or just a curious tourist, I think we can all agree it's best not to go down to the catacombs alone.